so side by side by sycamore tree, single a green willow. Her head on her bosom, her head on her knees, sing willow, willow, willow. The fresh streams ran by her and murmured a moan, sing willow, willow, willow. Her soft tears fell from her and softened the stone, sing willow, willow, willow. Really, Heidi, you come on, sing all the green willow must be my darling, that nobody blame in this scorn of your cruel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge, the first one for the month of September. I am glad I can host again. For those of you that haven't seen me in a while, I have just gotten over COVID. I had that for over a week, and we missed two. We missed two at Wheel of Shakespeare's because of that. But I'm glad to be back. Unfortunately, I think with the long delay, some of our regulars weren't able to make it. So I've just got myself, John, and Bill here to perform Shakespeare for you guys. And hopefully maybe as we go on, some people who are just late will join us. But even if it is just the three of us, we got three good Shakespeare enthusiasts here to entertain you with some classic works of the Bard. So let me bring based on the randomly chosen order in advance, it'll be first John, then myself, then Bill. I'm going to bring up the wheel now, see what John is going to perform for us. So John is going to perform Once More Into the Breach. Yeah, King Henry, awesome. So that's Act 3, Scene 3, the very beginning.
Okay. Let me see here. I was a little slow on the uptake here. Let me just find where my. Okay. Okay, so we're going to. So Henry V.
Yeah, Henry V, Act 3, Scene 3.
Okay.
Just after the prologue. Actually, you know what? I think I got it. I think it's Act 3, Scene 1 is what it should be. That was a misprint because it's right after the chorus in Act 3. Once More.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead.
All right. Once more unto the breach, dear friends, once more. Or close the wall up with our English dead. In peace there's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of wars blows in our ears, then imitate the action of the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favored rage. Then lend the eye a terrible aspect. Let pry through the portage of the head like the brass cannon. Let the brow o'erwhelm it as fearfully as doth a galled rock o'erhang and jetty his confounded base, swilled with the wild and wasteful ocean. Now set the teeth and stretch the nostril wide. Hold hard the breath and bend up every spirit to his full height. On, you noblest English, whose blood is fet with fathers of war proof. Fathers that, like so many Alexanders, have in these parts from morn till even fought and sheathed their swords for lack of arguments. Dishonor not your mothers, now attest for those whom you call fathers did beget you. Be copy now to men of grosser blood, and teach them how to war. And you, good yeoman, whose limbs were made in England, show us here the mettle of your pasture. Let us swear that you are worth your breeding, which I doubt not, for there is none of you so mean and base that hath not noble lustre in your eyes. I see you stand like greyhounds in the slits, straining upon the start. The game's afoot. Follow your spirit, and upon this charge cry, God for Harry, England, and St. George.
Okay, nice. So I am next, and before I spin, I'll just mention we've still only got the three of us, so like we usually do, unless there's any objection, I think before we move on to scenes, all three of us should get to do at least two monologues, because there's only three. Might as well just make up for the lost time, but we'll perform more for the people that aren't here. Okay, so my first monologue is going to be My Most Redoubted Father. Okay, this is the Dauphin in Henry V, encouraging his father to fight the English. Act 2, Scene 4. Same Dauphin who had just mocked King Henry in the tennis ball scene. Showing what a jerk he is here as well. Okay. My most redoubted father, it is most meet we arm us against the foe. For peace itself should not so dull a kingdom, though war, no known quarrel were in question. But that defenses, musters, preparations should be maintained, assembled and collected, as were a war in expectation. Therefore, I say, 'tis meet we all go forth to view the sick and feeble parts of France. And let us do it with no show of fear. No, with no more than if we had heard that England were bruised with a witsome Morris dance. For my good liege, she is so idly kinged, her sceptre so fantastically borne by a vain, giddy, shallow, humorless youth, that fear attends her not. Okay, that was a short bit. So that's one that I just recently added to the wheel. Nice to be the first to do that one. Okay, so Bill is going to go now, and Bill will do... What a damned Epicurean, Master 4.
Okay.
Merry Wives of Windsor, Act 2, Scene 2. I believe this is the very end of the scene after everyone's left and he's found out what Falstaff is up to. I believe.
Okay, yeah.
You got it? Okay, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
What a damned Epicurean rascal is this? My heart is ready to crack with impatience. Who says this is improvident jealousy? My wife hath sent to him, the hour is fixed, the match is made. Would any man have thought of this? See the hell of having a false woman. My bed shall be abused, my coffers ransacked, my reputation gnawn at. And I shall not only receive this villainous wrong, but stand under the adoption of abominable terms, and by him that does me this wrong. Terms, names. Amnon sounds well, Lucifer well, Barbizon well, yet they are devil's additions, the names of fiends. But cuckold? Widow? Cuckold? The devil himself hath not such a name. Page is an ass, a secure ass. He will trust his wife. He will not be jealous. I will rather trust a Fleming with my butter, Parson Hugh the Welshman with my cheese, an Irishman with my aquavitae bottle, or a thief to walk my ambling gelding, than my wife with herself. Then she plots, then she ruminates, then she devises, and what they think in their hearts they may effect. They will break their hearts, but it will affect. God be praised for my jealousy. 11 o'clock the hour, I will prevent this. Detect my wife, be revenged on Falstaff, and laugh at Page. I will about it. Better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late. Fie. Cuckold? 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 Scene.
I like that closure that you did to it, the way you did the last bit. That was really neat. Okay, so we'll the three of us, since there's only three, we'll do a second monologue before we move on to scenes. So let's get back to John. John's second monologue will be I will tell you okay, this is Enobarbus in Antony and Cleopatra, Act 2, Scene 2.
Okay.
Begins with I will tell you. This is a new one I've added. I'm trying to remember I believe it's referring to he's talking about Cleopatra and how Antony has fallen under her spell. And it believes I will tell you.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Going on over there. An action scene again, please. I'm sorry.
Act 2, Scene 2.
Okay. Let's see here.
So you got one of the ones we kind of recently added to the wheel. So we're a little unfamiliar with where to find this one. I think it's toward the end.
It's toward the end of this scene, you think?
Yes. It's toward the very end where he's talking to Agrippa, where it's just Enobarbus and Agrippa.
Okay.
And Agrippa said, it starts with I will tell you the barge she sat in, and then he has a long bit, and then Agrippa just says, "Oh, rare for Antony," and then Enobarbus goes on, and then
I have it.
Agrippa said, and then he has very short. If you want to just skip that and continue on, make it a longer one, go right ahead. You can skip Agrippa's 1 and 2 word responses and make it a longer monologue. So if you got it, go ahead whenever.
Yeah, okay. I will tell you, the barge she sat in, like a burnished throne, burned on the water. The poop was beaten gold, purple the sails, and so perfumed that winds were lovesick with them. The oars were silver, which to the tune of flutes kept stroke, and made the water which they beat to follow faster, as amorous as their strokes. For her own person it beggared all description. She did lie in her pavilion, cloth of gold of issue, or picturing that Venus where we see the fancy outwork nature. On each side her stood pretty dimpled boys, like smiling cupids, with divers colored fans, whose wind did seem to glow the delicate cheeks which they did cool, and what they did, and what they undid did. Her gentlewomen, like the Nereids, so many mermaids tended her the eyes, and made their bends adornings at the helma seeming mermaid steers. The silken tackle swell with the touches of those flower-soft hands that yarly frame the office. From the barge a strange invisible perfume hits the sense of the adjacent wharfs. The city cast her people out upon her, and Antony, enthroned in the marketplace, did sit alone, whistling to the air, which but for vacancy had gone to gaze on Cleopatra too, and made a gap in silence. Upon her landing, Antony sent to her, invited her to supper. She replied, it should be better he became her guest, which she entreated, our courteous Antony, whom ne'er the word of no woman heard speak, being barber 10 times o'er, goes to the feast, and for his ordinary pays his heart for what his eyes eat only. I saw her once, 40 paces through the public street, and having lost her breath, she spoke and panted, and she did make perfect defect perfection, and breathless power breathed forth. Let me stop there. Scene.
Okay, very nice. Introducing a new monologue to our game. Okay, I'm going to do time for my second monologue, then Bill's second monologue, and then we'll spin for scenes. Okay, let's see what's going to be next. Richmond, more loving. I have said love, more than I have said love. Oops. Sorry, this is a long scene right before the Battle of Bosworth, so it's a lot of stuff in here. I gotta find where this is. Okay. More than I have said, loving countrymen, the leisure and enforcement of the time forbids to dwell upon. Yet, remember this, God and our good cause fight upon our side. The prayers of holy saints and wronged souls, like high-reared bulwarks, stand before our faces. Richard except, those whom we fight against had rather have us win than him they follow. For what is he they follow? Truly, gentlemen, a bloody tyrant and a homicide, one raised in blood and one in blood established, one that made means to come by what he hath, and slaughtered those that were the means to help him. A base, foul stone made precious by the foil of England's chair, where he is falsely set, one that hath ever been God's enemy. Then, if you fight against God's enemy, God will in justice ward you as his soldiers. If you do sweat to put a tyrant down, you sleep in peace, the tyrant being slain. If you do fight against your country's foes, your country's fat shall pay your pains the higher. If you do fight in safeguard of your wives shall welcome home the conquerors. If you do free your children with the sword, your children's children quitted in your age. Then, in the name of God and all these rights, advance your standards, draw your willing swords. For me, the ransom of my bold attempt shall be this cold corpse on the earth's cold face. But if I thrive, the gain of my attempt, the least of you shall share this part thereof. Sound drums and trumpets boldly and cheerfully. God and St. George, Richmond and victory! Never done that one before. That was a lot of fun. Okay, so last monologue before we move on to scenes will be Bill, and he is going to do Constance. Grief fills the room of my absent child. King John, Act 3, Scene 4, about 98 lines in.
Grief fills the room. Is that the beginning?
Yeah, grief fills the room of my absent child.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Grief fills the room up of my absent child, lies in his bed, walks up and down with me, puts on his pretty looks, repeats his words, remembers me of all his gracious parts, stuffs out his vacant garments with his form. Then, have I reason to be fond of grief? Fare you well. Had you such a loss as I could give better comfort than you do. I will not keep this form upon my head when there is such a disorder in my wit. Oh, Lord, my boy, my Arthur, my fair son, my life, my joy, my food, my all the world, my widow comfort and my sorrow's cure. And
Okay, nice. So let's get a couple scenes for the three of us to do. The wheel will determine. King John one. Okay, yeah, this is a new one I recently added. This is, I think it's toward the end of the scene. The bastard talking to Lady Falconbridge, his mother. I think that's after he's found out the news that his actual father was Richard the Lionheart. And there's Gurney is a small part in that. We just cut him, and we'll just go on to the lines of the bastard and his mother. Okay, so the final, this is the final scene, just the final confrontation of turn Hellhound, turn Duff. So actually, let's do another scene. So, with only three of us, let's all. Okay, Hamlet and Gertrude, 3.4. Okay, so there's 6 rolls for, so that's 6 rolls for the three of us. We'll each do 2, and what we'll have is we'll, again, it'll be Bill, myself, and John. Will be the reverse order from that we performed in. We'll choose. You'll choose 1, and then we'll come back again to see, so that we'll each play 2 roles. Obviously, we got to make sure that we don't end up that would be 2 that we don't choose, so that we put the same person being both roles in the same scene. So we got 6 roles to choose from. We got the bastard and Lady Falconbridge in King John. We've got Macbeth and Macduff in the final scene, final confrontation of the play, and we've got Hamlet and Gertrude in Act 3, Scene 4. Those are the 6 roles. Bill will get the first choice amongst those. What would you like?
okay, I have to choose 1, correct?
Yeah, you'll get 2, but we'll let the other other two people choose before we come back to you for choosing.
Well, that's what I was getting at, because it might be, I might choose a character from one of the scenes, and then you guys choose characters from other scenes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's the point, is that everybody will play two roles, but the first time around, you're going to choose your first choice when we.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens here. I'd like to be the bastard.
Okay. And I will take. I'll take Macbeth. And John, what would you like?
Hamlet.
John will be Hamlet. Okay, so for the that's good. We have one role taken in each, so there won't be overlap. So between Gertrude Macduff and Lady Falcon, well, actually, you can't be. Would you like to be Gertrude or Macduff?
You talking to me?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit. Macduff.
You'll be Macduff, and then I will be. So I have Gertrude or Lady Falconbridge. I'll take Gertrude, and that leaves John to be Lady Falconbridge in the first scene. So first, it's going to be Bill and John are going to be the bastard and Lady Falconbridge. Then me and Bill will be Macduff, and then me and John will be Hamlet and Gertrude. So let me create the banner. So it's the first scene. I believe it's toward the end of the first scene in King John.
After Gurney exits, correct?
So which one first?
What was the question?
Which one is the first one we're going to do? I'm sorry.
The first one is the King John scene. It's the first scene. I believe it's toward the end, after everyone's exited, after the bastard found out the truth about who his father really is, and talking to his mother about. And there is a brief bit, a different person. I think is Gurney. We can either cut that, or if you like, if easier, I can do that one.
So we're going to start at what point? When they enter?
Yeah, that we got to figure that. Let me figure that out, because I'm sorry that this is one that I just recently added to the wheel.
How about we just start when Gurney exits?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that Gurney exits and then he comes back in, and that's why I was trying. Yeah, it's third the version. Yeah, because they have some stuff, and then Gurney has like one line before he exits, and let's see, enter Lady. Actually, we should go from the bastard has a long monologue after he's found out. Then it says enter Lady Falconbridge and Gurney. I think we should just go from there. And Gurney says, I think, Gurney has good leave, good Philip. That's the one thing he says. We can just cut that. And that way, because there's before Gurney exits, there's a bit of a good exchange between Lady Falconbridge and her son. So let's take it from when Lady Falconbridge and Gurney enter, and we'll just ignore the one thing that Gurney says.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yep.
Okay, so
you ready, John?
No, I'm not. What act and scene is it?
It's the very first scene, and it's all the way down to the end where it says enter Lady Falconbridge and Gurney.
So act 1, scene 1?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. And then we're starting where? I'm sorry.
Where it says enter Lady Falconbridge and Gurney, which is toward the end of the scene.
Okay. Almost there. I think. Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Was that a yes?
Yes. Do I start with where is that slave? Is that right?
Well, I I think I'm supposed to say the first lines after
Okay.
Falconbridge and Yardie come in.
I think.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh me, it is my mother. How now, good lady? What brings you here to court so hastily?
Where is that slave, thy brother? Where is he that holds in chase mine honor up and down?
My brother Robert, old Sir Robert's son, Colbrand the giant, that same mighty man. Is it Sir Robert's son that you seek so?
Sir Robert's son, I, thou unreverend boy, Sir Robert's son. Why scornst thou at Sir Robert? He is Sir Robert's son, and so art thou.
James Garney, wilt thou give us leave a while? Philip Sparrow, James, there's toys abroad, anon, I'll tell thee more. Madam, I was not old Sir Robert's son. Sir Robert might have eat his part in me upon Good Friday, and ne'er broke his fast. Sir Robert could do well, marry to confess, could he get me? Sir Robert could not do it. We know his handiwork. Therefore, good mother, to whom I am beholding for all these limbs, Sir Robert never could hope to make this leg.
Hast thou conspired with thy brother too, that for thine own gain should defend mine honor? What means this scorn, thou most untoward knave?
Night, good mother. That's at least go like, what? I am dubbed. I have it on my shoulder. But mother, I am not Sir Robert's son. I have disclaimed Sir Robert and my land. Legitimation, name, and all is gone. Then, good mother, let me know my father. Some proper man, I hope. Who was it, mother?
Hast thou denied thyself a Falconbridge?
As faithfully as I deny the devil.
King Richard Coeur de Lion was thy father. By long and vehement suit I was seduced to make room for him in my husband's bed. Heaven lay not my transgression to my charge. Thou art the issue of thine offense, which was so strongly urged past my defense.
Now, by this light, were I to get again, madam, I would not wish a better father. Some sins do bear their privilege on earth, and so doth yours. Your fault was not your folly. Needs must you lay your heart at his dispose, subjected tribute to commanding love, against whose fury and unmatched force the awless lion could not wage the fight, nor keep his princely heart from Richard's hand. He that perforce robs lions of their hearts may easily win a woman's. I, my mother, with all my heart, I thank thee for my father, who lives and dares that say thou didst not well when I was got. I'll send his soul to hell. Come, lady, I will show thee to my kin, and they shall say, when Richard me begot, if thou hadst said him nay, it had been sin. Who says it was? He lies. I say 'twas not. See.
Okay, nice. Nice first performance of something that we just put on the wheel. Okay, so now it's going to be Macbeth and Macduff. That's going to be myself and Bill. So I'll take John out. So I start. It's Act 5, Scene 8, the last scene, and it's just the whole thing up until we go off fighting for me to get beheaded by you. Are you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword? Whiles I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound, turn.
Of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back! My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out? Yeah, well.
Thou losest labor, and as easy mayst thou, the entrenched air, with thy keen sword impresses us, makes me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Oh, to spare thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Cursed be the tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believe that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham Wood be come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed, being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold, enough! So I paired up with Bill for that one. Now I'll pair up with John for Gertrude and Hamlet. If you, let's see. Well, I gotta find these for. So it would be from when Hamlet enters after when I remember when I did this with Sheila before, and I was doing the other role and she was doing Gertrude. We just, like, when Polonius calls something out and you respond by going to stab him and so forth. We don't need it. We don't need a Polonius in the scene. We can just have you react to it. Everybody gets what's going on. You hear him, so we'll just ignore that. And also when the other thing is the ghost enters and he does speak everything, and we agreed it's okay. I mean, we could put a third person in to be the ghost, but in many cases maybe it's better to just ignore you react to the ghost without it being there. Basically the audience sees what Gertrude sees. She sees Hamlet being a lunatic talking to somebody that isn't really there. So you can react to Polonius, react to the ghost without him actually being there or speaking the lines. So, and we'll take it from now, Mother, what's the matter? Sound good?
Yeah. Now, Mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet. Thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
What? How now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the rood, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Hey, then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I have set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help! Oh!
How now? A rat, dead for a ducat, dead.
Oh me! What hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
A bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, and as kill a king and marry with his brother.
Kill a king?
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou find'st be too busy as some danger. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace, sit you down, and let me wring your heart. For so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff. If damned custom have not breasted so that it is proof and bulwark against sense.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty. Call virtue hypocrite, takes off the rose from the far forehead of an innocent love, and sets the blister there, makes marriage vows as false as Dyther's oaths. Oh, such a deed as from the body of contraction plucks the very soul, and sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face doth glow, yea, this solidity. Oh God, that's what. Yea, this solidity and compound mass, with tristful visage as against thy doom, is such sick as the act.
Ay me, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
I've got noise over here. Look here, upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentiment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow, Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten. So sorry. A station like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven's kissing hill. A combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal, to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Ha! Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the bloods is tame, it's humble, and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? Sense sure you have, else could you not have motion, but sure that sense is apoplexed, for madness would not err, nor sense to ecstasy was ne'er so thralled, but it resolved some quantity of choice to serve in such a difference. What devil was that thus causing you to hoodman blind? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without handle, hands or eyes, smelling sans all. Or but a sickly part of thy one true sense could not so mope. Oh shame, where is thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutine in a matron's bones, to flaming youth let virtue be as wax, and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when the compulsive ardor keeps the change, since frost itself as actively doth burn and reason panders will.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their tinct.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an unseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter into mine ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your president lord, a vice of kings, a cutpurse of the empire and the rule, and from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
No more.
A king of shreds and patches. Save me, and hover o'er me with your wings. You heavenly guards, what would your gracious figure?
Alas, he is mad.
Do not come your tardy son to chide that lapsed in time and passion. Let's go by the important acting of your dread command. Oh, say, how is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is't with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Forth at your eyes your spirits widely peep, and as the sleeping soldiers in the alarm, and bedded hair like life and excrements starts up and stands on end. O gentle son, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper sprinkle good patience. Wheresoever do you look?
On him, on him, look you how pale he glares. His form and cause conjoined, preaching to stones would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with this piteous action you convert my stern effects. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears perchance for blood.
Whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you there, look how it steals away. My father in his habit as he lived, look where he goes even now, out at the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This boldness, creation, ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy. My pulse as yours doth temperately keep time, and makes us healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I the matter will reword which madness would gambol from. Mother, for the love of grace, lay not that mattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourself to heaven, repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor. Forgive me this, my virtue, for in the fitness of these pursy times, virtue itself of vice must pardon beg, yea, curb and woo for leave to do him good.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part of it, and live the purrier with the other half. Good night, but go not to mine uncle's bed. Assume a virtue, if you have it not. That monster custom who all sense doth eat, of habits devil is angel yet in this, that to the use of actions fair and good he likewise gives a frock of or livery, that aptly is put on. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to thy next abstinence. The next more easy, for use almost can exchange the stamp of nature, and either the devil or throw him out with wondrous potency. Once more, good night, and when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you, for this same Lord I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad begins and worse remains behind. One word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this by no means that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed, pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him for a pair of breechy kisses, or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. 'Twere good you let him know, for who that's but a queen fair, sober, wise, would from a paddock, from a bat, a jib, such dear concernings hide? Who would do so? No, in despite of sense and secrecy. Unpeg the basket on thy house's top. Let the birds fly, and like the famous ape, to try conclusions, in the basket creep and break your own neck down.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath of life, I have no life to breathe, what thou hast said to me.
I must to England. You know that?
Alack, I had forgot 'tis so concluded on.
There's letters sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I did trust as I will adders fanged. They shall the mandate, they must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work. For 'tis the sport to have the engineer hoist from his own petard, and shall go hard. But I will delve 1 yard below their minds and blow them at the moon. Oh, 'tis most sweet when in one line two crafts directly meet. This man shall set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor's room. Mother, good night. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward me and end with you. Good night, mother.
Okay.
Sorry for all those interferences.
Oh,
My
understand.
other computer was making this noise.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, well, I'm glad that I was able to return this week. I'm glad that two of you joined me. Wish the other people didn't have were able to make it, but I understand stuff comes up. Look forward to continuing to do this without more interruptions of health and so forth, and I look forward to. Also, we have one other person is showing an interest in joining us. She had trouble with her computer and couldn't, so hopefully we can fix that. Welcome our new member, Trudy. She makes excellent Shakespeare content on TikTok, and she would be a good addition to our group. So hopefully we'll get that person and the people that were absent today. We'll make it back next week. But as we showed, even with a few dedicated members, we can have a fun game, fun activity, and look forward to continue to do this. So we'll see you again next week, same time on this YouTube channel. We'll see you then. Bye now.